Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are shooting some product videos for the lovely Red Hill Confectionery Co. They were generous enough to send us some products for us to shoot. So we're in the lounge room today, working from home, stage 4 lockdown in Melbourne, so I'm not actually allowed to work anywhere except for home. So we're gonna get into this. First things first, we've got to set up, and then we'll talk you through what we're doing. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so we just set up a bit of a process to turn the living room into something that resembles a photo studio, but we are ready. So here we are with all the product. I think last I counted there's 23 different products here, maybe 24. And I'm gonna do an individual video for each one of them, going through all the products. Got a few different ideas, but I'll explain that to you as we go through it. And then I'm gonna use all of that footage to make a sort of mashup and a general promo video for them. Obviously, I much prefer if I'm doing promo videos, share a bit of lifestyle, you know, maybe the family would be enjoying it if I was shooting this out in the real world where I could get models and all that, but I don't have that luxury. So focusing on the products, these are really good products. I have worked with these guys before and thoroughly enjoyed eating them. Probably the best thing about food photography and videography is you get to eat all the food afterwards. Here's the final piece of us, guys, of everything that we mashed up together. And then we'll go through everything, all the interesting pieces individually as we go along. And then if there's any interesting editing techniques, I'll do that in a second video to show you guys, just so it's not too lengthy. So let's get into it. Let's shoot this piece. Real quick, just running you through the setup that we're going with today. First things first, lighting. I've got the Aperture 120D setting up for my main key light, which is always my go-to. Nice softbox with a bit of diffusion in there to make it some really beautiful and aesthetic lighting. Second thing is I'm using the Aperture MC, I want to say 200s. I forgot their name, probably should remember that. Aperture MCs, blah, 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 to light the scene. I'm just gonna flick them on orange because you see we've got this blue sheet down the bottom. I'm just gonna have the orange here to really create a bit of color contrast with the items. Most of the stuff here, I don't think we've got anything that's really orange or blue, so that's why I've picked these colors. So even the products themselves will be standing out from the background a little bit as we shoot. Depending on the product, if it's a little bit too close, like we do have to shoot this Turkish Delight here, which is probably a bit pink. I'll probably switch up the background light a little bit, and that's why I've used a sort of soft neutral tone for the backdrop here. To make sure that's really sticking out. I don't really want the background to be the focus, so it's just a nice sort of off tone, something that I might be able to play with in post if I need to, but something that's not going to dominate the image. I really wanted this nice blue for a nice vibrant sort of fresh sort of look that we've taped onto the table. Cameras we're running, I'm just going to be shooting this all on my A7 III, mainly with a tripod, shooting some of it handheld, but I find if I'm doing any sort of effects or I want to isolate any subjects, any sort of movement makes that whole process a whole lot harder. It's really hard if things are moving and it gets a lot less clean. So I like to shoot most of this product stuff on the tripod and create any movement through the product rather than having the camera moving. So it's a little bit more interesting, not a style of shooting that I'm actually used to, but it is a lot of fun. Very challenging, but a lot of fun. So for the background lights, I've got myself a ghetto tripod / cardboard box to set these up just high enough from the table so it can illuminate things, and I'm ready to shoot the opening scene. I've lined up all the products here in a sort of V shape, and my idea is just to drag the camera out, slide it across, and open up with a really wide angle lens to show the scenes and sort of reveal all the products. I know you could do it. All you gotta do is put your mind to it. Alright guys, so I just did the opening scene with that zoom out sort of effect which you would have seen. Next up, I'm gonna do this same effect for all the jars that we've got, which is just a floating effect. Now, you can sort of do this without it if you really wanna try and like spin it, get your hand out of the way in time, but I found the easiest way to do this is just use a little bit of tape. As you can see, I've taped the back of this super high quality production value taped a bit of string to the back of it. I've tried to match it with the color of this as easy as possible, so if I'm lucky and it's not in focus, I might not have to mask it out, but it means I can just mask it out really easy in post. And I'm just gonna do a little scene of it floating. So as you can see, it spins naturally. So just do a little thing of it's floating. Really simple, nice and straightforward. I will show you guys doing this one and we'll move on to the next one. All right guys, we've done 2 of the products so far out of 24, so looking like a bit of a long day. I think now that we've hit Wagoo, it's gonna go a little bit quicker. I was probably overshooting for the other ones, but next one up we've got is these Rocky Truffle Peanut Butter Cream things, which are absolutely ridiculously delicious. So we had 2 ideas. First of all, because we've already done the floating technique for 2 of the products already, I don't wanna overuse it. It's cool, but if you do anything too much, people get over it. So this one's just gonna start with a simple flick of the wrist and a twist to catch this to show the branding into the camera. So then we're gonna take the lid off, roll this across the table, and then hopefully all the contents will spill out to make it drop in front of the camera. I'm gonna shoot this really wide so you really see the movement and it's a little bit exaggerated in the camera. And it's nice, short and simple. So let's get back into it. All right guys, another 2 products down. Now we're up to the Turkish Delight. This one's gonna be fairly straightforward, just a really straight up intro shot for this one and the dark chocolate covered Turkish Delight, and then we're gonna do some cutting and then roll across. And then after that, you guys are met up with us when we're doing the bags. So I feel like the rest of them are gonna be fairly straightforward. So actually been a lot of fun doing this. It's been challenging, like I don't usually do product stuff, especially at home. We've had to use this photography paper over and over again because it keeps getting fudge on it, so just to make it nice and clean. But we've been trying to add a lot of personality into these shots through using our hands. Like, we don't really want to be in the photos ourselves. I'm much more comfortable behind the camera when I'm shooting for a client. So I've been using Christie's in my own hand to sort of take away, add that little bit of cheekiness, a little bit of fun, which I believe is that's the sort of vibe you want with lollies and candy anyway. So speak to you guys soon. We'll catch up when I'm doing something fun or interesting. So let's keep moving. All right guys, so last things are the little bags. I'm not gonna take you through this because I've just got the same sort of shot to do with every single one of these. So thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy this little B-roll behind the scenes sort of segment of me shooting some product photography. It just goes to show you that if you got the right lighting and you got the right setup and you take some time to transform a room, you can do professional product photography or videography at home. You don't always need a studio, you don't always need to be on site. Don't be afraid to splash a little bit of money on some photography paper or a nice backdrop and then reach out to businesses and try and get some product photography, because it is very fun. It is a bit challenging to do it at home at first, for me anyway, just because I haven't done a huge amount of it, but I had a lot of fun. And if you've got the fundamentals of doing other videography behind you, this isn't that hard of a jump. It just takes a little bit to wrap your head around it. So thank you so much for joining, guys. If you have got this far, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next one.